Hey, Walt here from StogieReview.com with another video cigar review. I'm out here in my backyard on a beautiful Saturday morning. No chance of going dark. It's a long time from being night. And just sitting back smoking the Casa Miranda Chapter 2. I picked up a couple of these at a Miami cigar event I went to the other night. And of all the cigars that I picked up there, which we'll probably go through in other reviews, I think this is one of the ones that I'm enjoying the most. It's a little pricey at just over $8 a stick, but I'm finding that I keep going to them on the shelf and picking up more, just because I'm getting a lot out of them. So far, we're off to a really good start. Construction's solid. They look beautiful. Cap is neatly applied. The pre-light draw is excellent. You know, there's just a touch of resistance, just the way I like it. Smoke volume's good. Coats the palate well. It's nice and dense. Flavor-wise, I'm getting some woody flavors, some nutty flavors, a little bit of spice, a little bit of pepper. In the body department, it's probably seated pretty well in the medium range. And it's got a nice creamy finish. It's going really well with coffee, so we're off to a great start. I'm a little bit further along than I normally would be when I turn the camera on, but I've got an audience over here watching the Kindle, so you may hear random cartoons throughout this video recording. So sit tight. I'll be right back. We'll take a look at we'll take a more in-depth look at the cigar, you know, as we smoke along. Well, we're moving right along on my Casa Miranda Chapter 2, and it's going really well. It's got this interesting, almost like a lemon zest sort of aftertaste. It's kind of bright and fresh and very vibrant, and it seems to come and go. As it comes on, it's kind of heavy, and then it fades, and then the next time it comes through, it's a much milder, more relaxed flavor. So it really keeps you focused on the flavors and gets you just thinking hard about what's going on to see if you can catch it. I'm finding it really nice. Aside from that, I'm getting earthy flavors, some nutty flavors, a little bit of a woody flavor, some spice, a little pepper through the sinus. So the Casa Miranda Chapter 2 has a variety of flavors that really just kind of barrage the palate. And I'm finding it pretty fun to just kind of, you know, sit back, take a puff, and then just think about it and just kind of watch the flavors come along, you know, enter the picture, and it just it makes for a really interesting dynamic cigar that's changing up, you know, with each puff. So it makes for what I would consider to be a very complex cigar. The price point, you know, for a cigar with this sort of complexity, it seems about right, a little over $8. Ideally, I think I'd prefer to pay a little bit less than that, because I think, you know, in that $8 to $10 range, it really puts a cigar in a very competitive category. And people don't like to gamble on an $8 to $10 cigar. You know, they typically go for the big names or go for the cigars with a track record. In the case of the Casa Fernanda, anything with Casa associated with it, I start to stumble. You know, you've got Casa Gomez, Casa Fernandez, Casa Miranda, and it just gets confusing. But in the case of the Casa Miranda, it's been around for a while, but you know, I don't think it's a household name at this point. So, you know, I think, you know, for between $8 to $10, you know, you see them sitting on the shelf, and sometimes you pass on them, sometimes you don't. You know, if it were something like, you know, I think in that $8 to $10 range, people are much more likely to pick up something like an Illusion product or a Tatuaje product or something from Don Pepin Garcia, just because, you know, they're tried and true. They have the big names. They're household names, for lack of a better term. And people seem a little bit more comfortable spending $8 to $10 on them. While the Casa Miranda Chapter 2 is very good, I don't think it has that household name status, and people are a little bit less likely to pick it up. At least I'm less likely to pick it up prior to having smoked a few of them at the Miami event. But I'm enjoying them, and you know, the price seems fair. Well, we are still kind of working on this whole review thing. I haven't found the ideal position to set up my camera yet. As you saw, or as you'll see in the blooper reel, I guess, this area of the house isn't the best for recording, but it is kind of the best for convenience because there's a set of stairs here that go into some sliding glass doors. Eventually, we're going to put a deck here, and that will make things a whole lot easier. I don't have patio furniture at the moment, so everything is it's just kind of a mess around me, and the stairs make a good place to stack everything. You know, I've got the camera, my coffee, my ashtray, my phone in case I need it, and I'm able to stick, you know, put my feet up, which is kind of nice. The other issue with this spot is there's an air conditioner pretty much right beside the steps, which is central air. So that's been kicking on a lot these last couple of days. It's been really hot, and I wouldn't be surprised if it starts kicking on fairly soon as the sun comes up and the weather warms up. So it was one of the reasons why I wanted to do the recording fairly early to take advantage of the quiet from the air conditioner. We're also a little bit closer to the road, so you get some road noise in the background. You know, I kind of would like to pick up some patio furniture and then move out further into the yard, maybe under some trees to get a little bit of shade, and kind of go from there. But at the moment, we're just kind of winging it. I'm using a little flip cam instead of my usual camcorder. The video quality is probably down a little bit. I'm sure the audio quality is down considerably from where it was before, where I had a shotgun mic or a lapel mic. I'm just kind of running everything with a little, with a really simple setup right now. But as we progress with living here in this house, hopefully things will improve in terms of video quality. I'm even thinking about taking this on the road and going down to the cigar shop, which is right down the road, and using their lounge. But big giant TV, big crowds, I don't know how that will work either. So I don't know. Bear with me. Well, we're coming down the home stretch on our Casa Miranda, Chapter 2, and you know, I'm impressed. It's a little on the expensive side, a little over $8 for the one I had, and I don't remember what the format is on this. It's probably 48 or so by maybe 6, just kind of guessing. But it's a good solid cigar. It smokes nice and slow, good smoke volume, nice dense smoke, coats the palate well, easy to get through the sinus, you know, easy to retrohale, sort of move and manipulate the smoke. The flavors are more or less the same as they were earlier. You just get a lot of bouncing flavors. You know, one becomes dominant and then steps back, and something else comes forward, steps back, and then you get a third flavor, and then, you know, eventually you get like 2 flavors that come forward and meld together. So you get a cigar that I think is very dynamic. It's very complex and interesting, and for the money, I really enjoy them. You know, I'm kind of running out of things to say about it. And I've got an audience, which is kind of weird. But I enjoyed it. I'm hoping to smoke more of them in the future. I'll probably continue to buy them when I stop at the local shop down the street. And I think that's going to do it. So until next time, take it easy and happy smoking.
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Alright. I don't know what to do now that I actually have a little camera person behind there. But we're smoking along on my Casa Miranda, Chapter 2. It's going really well. I don't want to draw out this segment too long because I think my daughter is going to start to lose interest and start waving the camera around. But you know, flavors are more or less the same. Body is picking up a little bit. Flavor levels are building, and it's making for a really nice cigar. And you know, sitting out here it's just a real pleasure. The weather's great. The cigar is good, and I keep bobbing and weaving so that I'm making sure that I'm in the frame. And there I go. And I'm back again. Alright, well, I'm going to smoke a little bit more of my cigar, drink a little coffee. Maybe we could try to do a more serious take of this whole thing and kind of go from there. Maybe this will be a blooper at the end. What do you think, Natalie?
And Daddy is nice for his cousin, and she does like it. And I love him really much, so this is mine, and he's really the cousin. See?
You're being silly.
Just because Dad and my big baby.
I'm going to say bye to everyone.
Bye.
You going to wave? Okay.
Let me take a picture of you.